Part 4. Stepping into the backyard with a bucket of newly washed clothes, Miss Dutta views the sky with some anxiety. The butter-gold sunlight is gone. Black-bellied clouds have taken over the horizon, and the air feels still and heavy on her face, as before a Bengal storm. What if her clothes don't dry by the time the others return home? Washing clothes has been a problem for Miss Dutta ever since she arrived in California. "We can't, Mother," Shyamali said with a sigh when Miss Dutta asked Cigar to put up a clothesline for her in the backyard. Shyamali sighed often nowadays. Perhaps it was an American habit? Miss Dutta did not remember that the Indian Shyamali, the docile bride she'd mothered for a month before putting her on a Pan Am flight to join her husband, pursed her lips in quite this way, to let out a breath at once impatient and exasperated. It's just not done. Not in a nice neighborhood like this one. And being the only Indian family on the street, we have to be extra careful. People here sometimes... She broke off with a shake of her head. "Why don't you keep your dirty clothes in the hamper I've put in your room, and I'll wash them on Sunday along with everyone else's?" Afraid of causing another sigh, Miss Dutta agreed reluctantly. She knew she would not store unclean clothes in the same room where she had kept pictures of her gods. That would bring bad luck. And the odor! Lying in bed at night, she could smell it distinctly, even though Shyamali claimed that the hamper was airtight. The sour, starchy old woman's smell embarrassed her. She was more embarrassed when, on Sunday afternoons, Shyamali brought the laundry into the family room to fold. Miss Dutta would bend intently over her knitting, face tingling with shame, as her daughter-in-law nonchalantly shook out the wisps of lace, magenta, and sea green and black that were her panties, placing them next to a stack of Cigar's briefs. And when, right in front of everyone, Shyamali pulled out Miss Dutta's crumpled, baggy bras from the heap, she wished the ground would open up and swallow her, like the Sita of mythology. Then, one day, Shyamali set the clothes basket down in front of Cigar. "Can you do them today, Cigar?" Miss Dutta, who had never, through the 42 years of her marriage, addressed Cigar's father by name, tried not to wince. "I've got to get that sales report in the computer by tonight." Before Cigar could respond, Miss Dutta was out of her chair, knitting needles dropping to the floor. "No, no, 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 no! Clothes and all is no work for the man of the house. I'll do it." The thought of her son's hand searching through the basket and lifting up his wife's and her own underclothes filled her with horror. "Mother," Shyamali said, "this is why Indian men are so useless around the house. Here in America, we don't believe in men's work and women's work. Don't I work outside all day, just like Cigar? How'll I manage if he doesn't help me at home?" "I'll help you instead," Miss Dutta ventured. "You don't understand, do you, Mother?" Shyamali said with a shaky smile. Then she went into the study. Miss Dutta sat down in her chair and tried to understand. But after a while she gave up and whispered to Cigar that she wanted him to teach her how to run the washer and dryer. "Why, Mother? Molly's quite happy to." "I've got to learn it." Her voice was low and desperate as she rummaged through the tangled heap for her clothes. Her son began to object and then shrugged. "Oh, very well, if it makes you happy." But later, when she faced the machines alone, the cryptic symbols and rows of gleaming knobs terrified her. What if she pressed the wrong button and flooded the entire floor with soap suds? What if she couldn't turn the machines off and they kept going, whirring mechanically until they exploded? This happened on a TV show just the other day. Everyone else had laughed at the woman who jumped up and down, screaming hysterically, but Miss Dutta sat stiff-spined, gripping the armrests of her chair. So she has taken to washing her clothes in the bathtub when she is alone. She never did such a chore before, but she remembers how the village washerwoman of her childhood would beat their saris clean against river rocks, and a curious satisfaction fills her as her clothes hit the porcelain with the same solid, wet thunk. My small victory, my secret. This is why everything must be dried and put safely away before Shyamali returns. Ignorance, as Miss Dutta well knows from years of managing a household, is a great promoter of harmony. So she keeps an eye on the menacing advance of the clouds as she hangs up her blouses and underwear, as she drapes her sari along the redwood fence that separates her son's property from the neighbors. First, wiping the fence clean with a dish towel she has secretly taken from the bottom drawer in the kitchen. But she isn't worried. Hasn't she managed every time, even after that freak hailstorm last month, when she had to use the iron from the laundry closet to press everything dry? The memory pleases her. In her mind, she writes back to Miss Basu. "I'm fitting in here so well. You'd never guess I came only 2 months back. I've found new ways of doing things, of solving problems creatively. You would be most proud of me if you saw me. When Miss Dutta decided to give up her home of 45 years, her relatives showed far less surprise than she had expected. Oh, we all knew you'd end up in America sooner or later, they said. She had been foolish to stay on alone so long after Cigar's father, may he find eternal peace, passed away. Good thing that boy of hers had come to his senses and called her to join him. Everyone knows a wife's place is with her husband, and a widow's is with her son. Miss Dutta had nodded in meek agreement, ashamed to let anyone know that the night before she had awakened weeping. Well, now that you're going, what'll happen to all your things? They asked. Miss Dutta, still troubled over these traitorous tears, had offered up her household effects in appropriation. Here, Dee Dee, you take this cut-work bread spread. Mishima, for a long time I have meant for you to have these Corningware dishes. I know how much you admire them. And Booty, this tape recorder that Cigar sent a year back is for you. Yes, I'm quite sure. I can always tell Cigar to buy me another one once I get there. Miss Basu, coming in just as a cousin made off triumphantly with a bone china tea set, had protested. Pramila, have you gone crazy? That tea set used to belong to your mother-in-law. Well, what'll I do with it in America? Shyamali has her own set. A look that Miss Dutta couldn't read flitted across Miss Basu's face. But do you want to drink from it for the rest of your life? What do you mean? Miss Basu hesitated. Then she said, What if you don't like it there? How could I not like it, Roma? Miss Dutta's voice was strident even to her own ears. With an effort she controlled and continued. I'll miss my friends, I know, and you most of all. And the things we do together, evening tea, our walk around Rabindra Sobar Lake, Thursday night Bhagavad Gita classes. But Cigar, they're my only family, and blood is blood after all. I wonder, Miss Basu said dryly, and Miss Dutta recalled that though both of Miss Basu's children lived just a journey's day away, they came to see her only on occasions when common decency dictated their presence. Perhaps they were tight-fisted around money matters too. Perhaps that was why Miss Basu had started renting out her downstairs a few years earlier, even though, as anyone in Calcutta knows, tenants are more trouble than they are worth. Such filial neglect must be hard to take, though Miss Basu, loyal to her children, as indeed a mother should be, never complained. In a way, Miss Dutta had been better off, with Cigar too far away for her to put his love to the test. At least don't give up the house, Miss Basu was saying. You won't be able to find another place in case. In case what? Miss Dutta asked, her words like stone chips. She was surprised to find that she was angrier with Miss Basu than she'd ever been. Or was she afraid? My son isn't like yours, she'd been on the verge of spitting out. She took a deep breath and made herself smile. Made herself remember that she might never see her friend again. Ah, Roma, she said, putting her arm around Miss Basu. You think I'm such an old witch that my Cigar and my Shamali will be unable to live with me?